The Joe Rogan Experience.
What kind of steroids were dudes doing back then?
I mean, basic. You know, you got, your tests, D-ball. It's just basic stuff, And back then, because the DA had come in and was trying to find out what we were all doing, they made us do it legally. So, you had to go to the doctor and get all these prescriptions.
And you would get prescriptions for steroids?
Yeah.
What kind of steroids would they give you a prescription for?
Like any kind of test you needed. They would give growth hormone. They give prescriptions because once the DEA came in, they was like, what are y'all doing? What are y'all taking?
But when you think, like, the DEA, shouldn't you be out there catching people selling meth?
Yeah.
Why are you going after bodybuilders who are also cops? That seems ridiculous.
Because they had kids out there that were taking it and committing suicide.
Oh.
See, I didn't know what that was when I was a kid.
They were committing suicide because they were getting depressed from the steroids coming off of it?
Coming off of it.
Yeah.
So they trying to figure out, what are y'all doing? We got to get y'all off this stuff.
And so that's when you got a doctor that was willing to prescribe everything.
Mm-hmm.
So was this while you were doing Mr. Olympia?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So all that stuff was above board. It was all legal.
Yeah. Everything was legal back then.
And is that the case now?
You know what? That was just when the heat was on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I don't think they got the heat on the guys now like that now.
So the DEA would come to you and you would just say, "Hey, here's my prescriptions."
Yeah.
And they would go, "All right."
Yeah. Mm-hmm. One time if you didn't have a prescription, they took your stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
So they'd find whatever you had and take it from you.
Yeah. Yep.
How did they know where it was?
You told them.
Oh, okay. Because otherwise they put you in jail.
Yeah. And then search your house,
Yeah.
get a search warrant. So it's like, well, I got this and this and that.
Well, I'd imagine you would have to take something to be as big as you were when you were at your
Oh yeah,
your
for
peak.
sure.
It's
Yeah,
not
for sure.
really possible to be that big without it.
Without it, no. You can't get that big. Another thing you got to have too is genetics.
Yes.
Look at the baseball players that have taken stuff, and look at us.
Yeah.
They can't get that big. They're not gifted for it.
Well, they didn't try either, right? They weren't trying to get that big. Like
They
guys like
could- they could-
Canseco,
they-
he
they-
got pretty fucking big.
They couldn't get that big if they wanted to.
Really? So it's a small percentage of the population that
They
could
can
get that big.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And probably like 1% that could get as big as I got.
Mm.
And I was the only guy. Nobody's duplicated that since. And you be in that condition.
Right.
And be healthy.
Right.
I don't have any health problem besides the back.
The injuries.
The injuries, yeah. My liver, my kidneys, and my heart, it's all good.
Did you, while you were doing things, did you get frequent blood tests? And
Every 3 to 4 months.
And the doctor would go over everything and make sure everything was fine.
Everything's always good.
That seems to be the big misconception about steroids, is that people think steroids
And people
kill
think you're taking like tons of stuff. I wasn't taking tons of stuff. I probably wasn't taking no more than what those baseball players were taking.
Just working out more,
Just
lifting more,
working out, lifting more, and gifted genetically for it.
Dorian Yates said basically the same thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't that he was taking a lot,
Yeah.
not compared to a lot of guys.
Exactly. Yeah, people think I was taking massive amounts of stuff. If I'd been taking massive amounts of stuff, I don't think I'd still be here. I don't think I'd be as healthy as I am now.
Right.
Besides my back surgery, neck surgeries, I'm all good. And like I said, my liver, my kidneys, and heart and everything's still holding up real good.
Now, when you would get off for that 3-month period, would you cycle off of everything?
Cold turkey.
Cold turkey?
Yeah.
Really?
Cold turkey. I didn't take anything or nothing.
And what did you feel like over those 3 months?
Normal.
Really?
Normal. Didn't bother me a bit.
So you got just great genetics, man.
Craziest ever.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, there's no way you could take all,
Cold turkey, I stopped everything. One day, I'd be taking, you know, a bunch of stuff. Next day, nothing.
And your body would just feel normal.
Body felt normal. Didn't bother me a bit.
That's so crazy.
Didn't get depressed or nothing, you know.
Yeah.
Felt normal.
That's just genetics.
Yeah. I still was strong.
Wow.
I could still, you know, squat, you know. I could squat, you know, 700, 800 naturally.
Wow. So you basically kept a lot of your gains.
Yep, I was still 300. Still 300 pounds, you know, without taking all that stuff.
And so then after the 3 months, then you would slowly ramp back up?
Slowly ramp back up, yeah.
And all this under doctor supervision?
All this under doctor supervision. Yeah, and all the while I'm getting my blood work done every 3 to 4 months.
So a lot of guys, after they're done competing, then they have to get on testosterone replacement therapy because the endocrine system's kind of messed up.
Exactly.
Did you have to do that as well?
Yeah.
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 It seems like that's just a part of the sport, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. It's interesting, though, because, like, for the longest time, these guys were doing these ads in magazines, and they were attributing everything to some supplement that they were selling, or some creatine, or some this. Or that. I mean, all that stuff does something.
It helps you out a little bit.
But it's not going to get you.
It's not going to get you 330 pounds with 3% body fat.
No.
No, it's definitely not going to do that.
Was that something that you were allowed to talk about while you were competing?
Yeah, I mean.
Did it come up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I talked about it. I didn't have no reason to hide it. People.
Because it seems like people were
not
hiding
stupid.
it. They're not. No. When you got that big,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah. But it seemed like there was an era where bodybuilding kind of tried to pretend that they weren't taking that.
Yeah. Because of all those, you know, people committing suicide and kids taking all that stuff and doing it the wrong way, you know. Not having it prescribed and all this kind of stuff.
Also, the more is better
Black
philosophy.
market getting bad stuff, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
But there were some guys that would just say, well, the way to win is to take way more than everybody else.
Yeah.
And see what your body could tolerate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The more you take, the better you're going to be.
I knew a guy like that.
Yeah.
And he wound up having a heart attack.
Exactly.
We used to call him garden hoses because his arms looked like garden hoses for veins.
Yeah.
He had just these giant veins all over his arms. It didn't make sense. But he was just on everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he didn't make it to 30.
Yeah.
He died before he was 30.
Some people, they do it the wrong way.
Yeah.
I didn't start taking anything until I was 30.
Really?
Yeah. Remember, I was drug-free for a long time. And I did everything naturally for a long, long time because I was, like I said, gifted.
Right.
Yeah.
What inspired you? What made you decide when you were 30 that you had to do something?
I got tired of getting my ass kicked.
In competitions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The highest I would place was like third or something, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And after a while, you know, you competitive. The other guys got a competitive advantage on you.
Mm-hmm.
So let's make this thing equal.
Is this something somebody suggested to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So people in the gym, like, hey, Ronnie.
No, one of the competitors suggested that to me.
Oh.
Guy by the name of Flex Wheeler.
Oh, okay.
My best friend in the world.
That guy was fucking huge.
Huge. And he taught me everything I know.
Did he really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He also got me the best nutritionist ever. That's how I won my first Olympia.
So is that how most guys find out about steroids, from other guys who are competing?
If you were smart, that's the way you would do it. Somebody that knows, what they're doing, and somebody that's successful at it, not some dumb trainer,
right?
That think they know,
right?
You know, Flex had won, major contests, and was a real experienced bodybuilder at the time. You know, I'm still new to the sport.
Right.
I didn't get into it till I was 24. You know, I think he started probably when he was like 16, 17, somewhere in there. I never did that kind of stuff because we didn't have it where I was from.
How much of a night and day difference was it once you started taking stuff?
As far as the condition, night and day.
Night and day in your ability to work? Put in work?
No.
The condition of your body?
Yeah, the only thing changed was conditioning.
What do you mean by
my strength didn't go up that much.